Have you ever noticed how many times what seems harmless on your plate may actually be, little by little, destroying your health? It's as if there's an invisible enemy disguised as tasty food, draining your energy, corroding your joints, and silently sabotaging the proper functioning of your body. This is the reality of silent inflammation. It doesn't hurt right away, it doesn't scream to get your attention, but it builds up day after day, until a heavy diagnosis appears or constant fatigue becomes part of your routine. The scariest part is that many of the foods that trigger this process are among the most consumed on a daily basis. We grow up believing they are normal, that they're part of life, that there's no problem if it's just once in a while. But once in a while turns into every day, and the body can't take it anymore. One of the first villains on this list are processed meats. Who hasn't given in to the smell of grilled sausage, the convenience of a hot dog, or the strong flavor of salami? But behind this temptation lies one of the most aggressive sources of chronic inflammation. These meats contain nitrates and nitrites, substances used to preserve, add color, and enhance flavor. But inside the body, they transform into highly toxic compounds. Each bite may seem innocent, but the constant accumulation increases the risk of colon cancer, stomach cancer, and accelerates inflammatory processes throughout the body. It's as if the pleasure of a few minutes in the mouth turns into years of silent suffering in vital organs. And the question remains, is this price really worth it? Another food that, at first glance, seems harmless is white bread, that inseparable companion of the Brazilian breakfast, warm, soft, irresistible, but inside the body, it acts in a treacherous way. Made from refined flour, stripped of fiber and nutrients, it spikes blood sugar. This forces the pancreas to work uncontrollably, releasing too much insulin and triggering an inflammatory cascade that silently attacks the joints, skin, and even the brain. That's why so many people feel bloated, tired, or sore after eating refined carbs. And the most curious part is that when combined with proteins and fibers, like in the classic rice and beans, the effect changes. The problem isn't the carbohydrate itself, but the way it arrives alone and refined, causing imbalance. That's an important reflection. Are you giving your body real nourishment or just a fleeting illusion of energy? And if there's one dangerous fuel that speeds up inflammation like fire in dry straw, that fuel is sugar. It's everywhere, even where we least expect it. Not only in brigadeiros, sodas, or layered cakes. It hides in tomato sauce, packaged bread, fruit, yogurt, and even in water and salt crackers that are far from innocent. Excess sugar not only makes you gain weight, but also caramelizes the body's proteins, stiffening the joints, aging the skin, and making arteries more rigid. This is the so-called advanced glycation. Each spoonful of sugar may taste sweet to the palate, but it's bitter for the body. How many times have you told yourself, just today, just a little piece? And that just today repeated until it became a habit. Sugar is addictive, alters your taste buds, and makes your body crave more and more. It's not just about aesthetics, it's about deep health. That industrial vegetable oils also make it onto this dangerous list. For a long time, they were sold as healthier. But the truth is, their excessive consumption breaks the natural balance between omega-3 and omega-6. The result is an inflamed body, more prone to pain, allergies, insulin resistance, and even autoimmune diseases. Olive oil, for example, is anti-inflammatory, but soybean, corn, or sunflower oil, in excess, become a silent trigger for inflammation. What should nourish ends up sabotaging. Have you ever wondered how many fried foods or packaged products made with this type of oil sneak into your routine without you realizing it? And it doesn't stop there. There's a fat that should have been banned from every table, but still appears hidden in colorful, tempting packages. Trans fat, artificially created to increase shelf life. It not only disrupts cholesterol, but also directly activates the body's inflammatory pathways. Microwave popcorn, margarine, sandwich cookies, packaged chips, they all carry this modern poison disguised as convenience. Each bite is an invitation for inflammation to dig deeper. And here there's no middle ground. Trans fat is pure poison. Another trap that many ignore is alcohol. It's social, present in celebrations, gatherings with friends, romantic dinners. But behind the glass of wine or cold beer lies a heavy inflammatory process that overburdens the liver, alters the gut microbiota, weakens the immune system, and paves the way for serious diseases like cirrhosis, cancer, and dementia. Alcohol releases toxic substances in the body that inflame from the inside out. It may seem like a detail, an exaggeration, but science is clear. Every dose counts. Is it really worth trading moments of fleeting euphoria for years of liver damage? And at the top of this list are ultra-processed foods. They are the very definition of what causes inflammation: excess sugar, bad oils, refined flours, chemical additives, preservatives, flavorings, and colorings, all packed in practical, quick, and irresistible packaging. But behind the colorful box lies a silent enemy that not only inflames but also disrupts gut flora, alters hormones, and accelerates the aging of the entire body. Every soda, every bag of chips, every frozen meal may seem like a quick fix for hunger, but in reality, it's an inflammatory bomb slowly detonating over the years. Now, if you've made it this far, you've already realized that silent inflammation doesn't happen by chance. It's the result of daily choices, sometimes automatic, sometimes influenced by industry and marketing that turn poison into everyday food. But the good news is that just as it creeps in little by little, it can also be reversed with small, consistent changes. Every food removed from the plate opens space for another that heals, strengthens, and restores vitality. Transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it begins with awareness. And now that you know these villains, it's impossible not to look at your plate differently. And speaking of transformation, the next step is to show you which foods do exactly the opposite. They reduce inflammation, rejuvenate, and give energy back to your body. If on one side we have foods that silently sabotage your health and feed chronic inflammation within your body, on the other side there is a powerful force that works in your favor. These are the anti-inflammatory foods that work almost like natural medicine, restoring vitality, balance, and energy to the body. It's as if, by putting these foods on your plate, you're giving yourself a real chance to reverse pain, fatigue, and even those symptoms that once felt like an inevitable part of your routine. And the most interesting part is that we're not talking about anything expensive, rare, or inaccessible. Most of them might already be in your fridge or on your kitchen shelf today, just waiting to be used consciously. Think about it. If inflammation is like a fire silently corroding tissues, joints, and organs, anti-inflammatory foods are like fresh water arriving to put out that inner blaze. They calm, regenerate, and deeply nourish every cell. And it's amazing how quickly the body responds when it receives the right nutrients. In just a few days, many people already notice differences in energy, mental clarity, and even mood. It may sound too simple to be true, but it's not. The human body was created to regenerate. It just needs the right tools. One of the most powerful groups in this sense are berries. Strawberries, blueberries, blackberries, raspberries, all rich in antioxidants, especially anthocyanins, which directly fight free radicals and help reduce inflammatory processes. It's no coincidence that, in many traditional cultures, these fruits have always been considered longevity foods. When you eat a portion of them, you're not just enjoying something tasty, you're giving your body a shield against inflammation. Imagine each little piece acting like a silent soldier, patrolling your cells and protecting your tissues. Another ally that can't be left out is the tomato. Rich in lycopene, it acts so intensely in fighting inflammation that even scientific studies show benefits for the heart, skin, and even in preventing certain types of cancer. But the detail lies in the preparation. When heated, lycopene becomes even more bioavailable, easier for the body to absorb. This means that a simple homemade tomato sauce, cooked with olive oil, can turn into a true natural remedy. It's impressive how such an everyday act can carry so much healing power. And since we mentioned olive oil, it's impossible not to highlight this liquid gold of nature, full of healthy fats, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds. It goes far beyond taste. Each spoonful of extra virgin olive oil is like an injection of health for the arteries, cells, and even the brain. And the most curious thing is that in places where olive oil is the foundation of the diet, such as regions along the Mediterranean, the rates of inflammatory heart and degenerative diseases are significantly lower. That's no coincidence. That's science and tradition walking hand in hand. Dark leafy greens, such as kale, spinach, and arugula, are also part of this army of natural warriors against inflammation. They contain chlorophyll, fiber, vitamins, and minerals that help cleanse the blood, detoxify the liver, and strengthen the immune system. When you chew these greens, it's like giving your body a concentrated dose of vital energy. almost like a green therapy that restores lost balance. And the more variety of greens on your plate, the greater the symphony of nutrients working in harmony inside you. Now, if there's one food worthy of the title King of Anti-Inflammatories, it's turmeric. Its active compound, curcumin, has been studied for decades and has been proven to reduce inflammation at the cellular level. The effect is so powerful that some experts compare it to certain anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. When combined with black pepper and a source of healthy fat, like olive oil or coconut oil, curcumin's power multiplies. It's as if you were giving your body a golden key to unlock healing processes that had been dormant. And we can't forget ginger. That miraculous root used in Ayurvedic and Chinese medicine for thousands of years. It warms the body, improves circulation, and fights inflammation. So naturally, it's surprising. Drinking ginger tea or using the fresh root in meals is like lighting a flame of vitality inside yourself, dissolving the blockages caused by inflammation. Seeds also play a fundamental role. Chia, flaxseed, sunflower, and pumpkin seeds provide fiber, minerals, and especially plant-based omega-3s. They regulate the gut, nourish cells, and help balance inflammatory processes in a practical and accessible way. A simple habit of sprinkling a spoonful of seeds on your breakfast can bring immense benefits over time. And of course, we can't talk about anti-inflammatory foods without mentioning fatty fish rich in omega-3, such as salmon, sardines, and mackerel. These healthy fats are literally the raw material for building stronger cells, less vulnerable to inflammation. Populations that regularly consume these fish show not only fewer heart problems, but also better brain and emotional health. After all, the brain also needs healthy fats to function at full capacity. Each of these foods is like a piece of a puzzle. Alone, they already offer incredible benefits. But when combined in a conscious eating routine, they create a true protective shield against inflammation. It's as if you were gradually rebuilding a new body, stronger, more balanced, and more capable of facing daily challenges. And the most beautiful part is that we're not talking about restrictive, painful diets full of impossible rules. We're talking about simple choices, about ingredients that can transform an ordinary meal into an opportunity for healing. This is where food stops being just fuel and becomes medicine. Care, love, dot. Now, imagine the impact of all this on your life. Imagine waking up without pain, with energy to live fully, with mental clarity, and with a body that works for you, not against you. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing vitality instead of fatigue. This isn't a distant dream. It's the natural result of when you decide to swap what inflames for what heals. And the journey always starts with the first step, consciously choosing what goes on your plate. But before you think this transformation depends only on food, you need to understand something even deeper. Because there are other factors besides food that can keep inflammation burning inside you, even if your diet is impeccable. And that's what we'll talk about next. And since we're talking about turning food into medicine, let me share with you a secret that can make all the difference in your daily life. Imagine a simple drink, prepared in just a few minutes, but with the power to calm the silent inflammation circulating through the body. It's the famous golden milk, known for centuries in Ayurvedic medicine, used as a true balm for the body and mind. If you want to receive this powerful golden milk recipe, comment below "I want the recipe" and I'll share it with you. The preparation is very simple. Heat a cup of milk. It can be plant-based, such as coconut or almond milk, and add half a teaspoon of turmeric powder. To boost the effect of curcumin, add a pinch of black pepper, and if you want, a drizzle of olive oil or coconut oil to add flavor and make the experience even more comforting. A thin slice of fresh ginger or a cinnamon stick works perfectly. Just let it warm up without boiling and drink it while still hot, preferably at night. When the body prepares to rest, what this drink does is almost magical. It reduces inflammation, improves circulation, calms the nervous system, and even helps with sleep. It's as if each sip were a message of peace for your body, a reminder saying, "You can relax. I am taking care of you." If this content spoke to you, like the video, share it with someone who needs this message, and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving health and transformation tips.